before. Couldn't look you in the eye. You're just like an angel.
Hey guys, Sister Ken's here and welcome back to my new video. I admit I have been a bit lazy on making new videos. I know it's summer vacation right now, so I should be using this time to make more videos, but I'm really trying to be lazy as much as possible and let my mind relax before school starts, because like what I mentioned a couple of times before, I am actually graduating this fall, so I cannot afford to, slack off or, be lazy or whatsoever, because I really want to get out of school that bad. As for the story that I'm going to be sharing with you guys today, I've been giving this a lot of thought because it happened about 14 or 15 years ago, and it lasted until when I graduated out of high school. So, I've had this thought where people would say oh, it's been a long time already, why are you still bringing this up, or why are you still living in the past, or why am I still having a grudge against him or whatsoever. But I decided not to care about what those people will say or whatever, because I feel that I need to get my side of the story out there. I feel that most of the people that knows both of us, they only know his side of the story and not mine, and I don't know what he's been saying or what kind of lies he made up, to tell his friends or whatsoever. And there's only I feel probably about 1 or 3 people that knows my side of the story or both sides of our story. And I know it's really late to be thinking about this, but the last thing I want to be labeled as is this one that's trying to ruin his life or threaten his life just because he wouldn't like me back. Also, I won't be using real names because it's more of privacy issue kind of thing, and I'm not trying to call anyone out. And I also won't be naming any race either, because now these days there's too many people that get butthurt over a term that you're trying to describe a certain race without sounding racist. And the last thing I want is people labeling me as racist. So this goes back to my elementary school years. I believe that we started being friends either 3rd or 4th grade. I wasn't too sure because we had the same teacher twice for 3rd and 4th grade. So yeah, it was recess. You know how it goes, girls play with girls, boys play with boys, but for me I was pretty much a loner. I'm not saying I had troubles making friends, it's just more I don't get along that well with the girls in my class. It's just that I always have this feeling or vibe that they don't like me because I'm not one of them, short, pretty, cute, or skinny or whatsoever. So I saw a group of boys playing tag and I wanted in, so I just worked up my courage, asked them if I could play with them. They all say yes, so ever since then we became best friends. And then 5th grade came along, we were still best friends, but until that one day when I pulled one of my friends aside, let's call him Justin. I pulled Justin aside so I can talk to him one-on-one, and it wouldn't look too awkward in front of other people, especially the girls or whatnot. And if I knew that confessing my feelings would actually result in losing my best friend, I wouldn't have said anything at all. But I didn't know that during that time, so I ended up asking him who did he like. So he told me that the girl that he liked starts with an M, so I named every girls possible that I know that would start with an M, and he said no to all. So I gave up guessing and decided to just get on with it. So I ended up telling him I liked him, and I guess he didn't say anything else. He didn't know what to say, so then we both went back to class. I wasn't expecting him to like me back because I know that I'm no guy's type, because I wasn't skinny, not cute, not short, not pretty, all that stuff. And before I had braces, I used to have like a gap between my front teeth. So yeah, I wasn't any of those boys type, so I wasn't expecting him to like me back. But what I also didn't expect was that the next day he started giving me the cold shoulder, and I was just wondering, like, what did I do? So throughout the whole time I was trying to talk to him, like, just come to understand, like, why is he avoiding me and whatnot. Because what he did whenever, like, I'm trying to go somewhere that happens to be towards his direction, he would always run to the opposite direction, or either back to where he just came from or whatever, and leaving his friend behind and having them wonder, like, oh, what the hell's going on? And then they would just look at me and then back to him, and they would just go to him or whatsoever. And I don't know what happens afterwards. Maybe he'd be like, oh, I didn't want to run into her, or like, oh, she liked me, or whatever rumors he's probably started or whatsoever. So yeah, he kept avoiding me. He kept treating me like I was some sort of plague. One day, like during lunch, there's these 3 girls that came up to me. They asked if I wanted them to talk to him for me. So I thought that's what their intention was, like, just to find out, like, why is he avoiding me and all that stuff like that. So I was like, yeah, sure, go ahead and talk to him for me. So I literally hung around, like, just basically hiding in things. I was basically making myself look like a creep. But that was not my intention. I wasn't trying to be a creep. I just want to know, like, how it's going and whatnot. Obviously, I was not, like, at an earshot, so I couldn't really hear anything. And yeah, I guess, like, it went well, because nothing happened. They both, like, got up and left after talking. But I don't remember if those girls ever told me anything, like what happened or whatever they talked about. I'm guessing those girls didn't tell me anything, because the next thing I resorted to was writing him a note. I don't remember exactly what I wrote, but I remember, like, apologizing to him, saying that I liked him, and I wanted him to, like, just forget that I said that and act like nothing happened, and let's just be friends again. And since that he's, like, still avoiding me and whatnot, I asked one of our friends to give him the note. And of course, I did see him opening the note and reading it, but what I found out after that hurts me a lot was that when everyone was heading back to their class, I found my note ripped up into pieces and being thrown at the floor. And I'm just, like, literally standing there, like, I didn't know what to do. I was trying not to cry. I was not trying to make a scene or whatsoever, or coming back to class having my eyes looking really red. So I just, like, fight back my tears and pick up the pieces of papers and just throw it away, like, in a trash can. During our middle school years, he was still avoiding me like I was a plague, and I wouldn't really say I was a loner, because I still managed to make a few friends there that I hung out with until, like, 8th grade, or when we graduate out of 8th grade. But he did make it hard for me to, like, talk to people or making friends in general, because what happened was that whenever he sees me talking to someone, or he thinks that I'm gonna be friends with the friends he made, and after when I walk away, he would immediately go to that person and, like, say something, and I would know that they were talking about me, because whenever he says something to that person, both of them will look towards my direction. And I'm just like, he must be spreading rumors about me. Like, I don't know what kind of rumors, but I just know he's talking smack about me. Or, like, maybe he's probably saying, like, oh, that's Ida, like, she likes me, that kind of thing, and then end up talking more smack whatsoever. But then I was, like, giving a benefit of the doubt, like, where he's not talking smack, because he is a nice person, and I don't see him talking smack about people in general. Up until, like, this other guy that we both know, which, let's call him Jamie. Jamie came up to me telling me that Justin was talking smack about me, and at that point, like, I literally had enough, because being ignored, avoiding me, and giving me cold shoulders and whatnot, it already hurts me enough, and yet knowing that he's talking smack about me, that hurts me even more. So I wasn't like thinking. I just went up to him and I just kicked him on his ankle. I tried not to kick too hard because I really wasn't trying to hurt him, and by the time I was going to kick him, it was too late to stop. After I kicked him, I just walked away. Like, he just turned around, looked at me, like giving me like this kind of look, and his friends also gave me the same look, like, what the hell is she doing or whatever. But then one day, I don't know what happened, I guess like he finally like, you know, decided to like push that issue between us away and just act like nothing happened. Or maybe he's just acting like I wasn't there, because 3 of his friends were in the same table as me. I guess it was like break time during class, or we were like, you know, just done with everything, there's nothing to do, so we were just like getting up out of our seat talking to our friends and whatnot. So Justin got out from his seat and went to my table, which is where his 3 other friends were at. So, you know, they just began talking, so I thought that he was trying to like, you know, make the first step, acting like I'm not there, and, you know, just talk to his friend and whatnot. So for me, I thought that was progress. So in my part, I ended up making my first move and offer him a piece of gum, because, you know, everyone at my table was chewing gum. He said no. It wasn't like a nasty kind of tone, it was like a normal one. So I was like, okay, he didn't want the gum, that's fine. He wasn't giving me like a nasty tone, so I thought we were making progress. But that's what I thought, until that one specific day, all of us were like on AIM doing group chat. I was still thinking that we're making progress, because even though we weren't talking much on AIM, we were like, you know, just saying a few sentences and, you know, just slowly work our way up back to being friends. But then out of nowhere, he invited me into a group chat, and in that group chat there was 2 other girls in there. Let's call them Becky and Chris. Becky and Chris didn't need to be in there, to be honest. Like, they're honestly just there to like, you know, making comments while me and Justin are having a serious conversation. So what happened in that group chat was that Justin said that my sisters were cussing out his sister, and he literally said that I better have a good explanation for it, like I'm the one that told them to do that. So I was just like, what the hell? So then I told him that like I didn't know that they were doing that, and I didn't tell them to do that either. But then I decided to like, you know, might as well ask them why they do that. And since me and my sisters are not that close, we don't really tell each other things like what normally the sisters would. So they just told me that they were just playing around, so it wasn't meant to be serious. So I was like, okay, I'm not sure if they're lying or not, but that's what they told me. I believed them. So then I told Justin what they told me, but he was too busy like going on about how his sister isn't a liar and whatnot. He didn't listen to my explanation, since he's the one that demanded for an explanation. So then like I kept repeating myself and telling him what my sisters told me, and even told him again and again that I didn't tell them to do this and I didn't know that they did that. But no, he kept on going on about like his sister is not a liar. Well, guess what, Justin? I don't give a if your sister is a liar or not. And I told you many times that I didn't know that this was happening. I didn't tell them to do that, and since you're demanding for a freaking explanation, I gave you an explanation, but you didn't want to listen. Well, those were my thoughts. I didn't literally say that in a group chat. What I really said was, if you don't believe me, you can go ask my sisters yourself. Maybe you can like, you know, get something out of them, or something that they're not willing to tell me. But nope, I still got ignored, and Becky and Chris are still making side comments like they're in some kind of show. And then next thing I know, Justin literally brought back the incident that happened during 5th grade. He said that I got those 3 girls to threaten his life, or like threaten to beat him up. And I'm just like, are you serious right now? I didn't get those 3 girls to threaten to beat you up or threaten your life. Like, they're the one that approached to me, offering to talk to you for me because you keep avoiding me. And if they were the one that somehow started threatening you out of nowhere while they're the one that offered to talk to you for me, then that's not my doing. I didn't know that they were threatening you. All they offered me was for them to talk to you for me because, like I said, you were avoiding me. And I'm pretty sure I did tell him that I didn't get those 3 girls to threaten his life or whatsoever. But then again, he didn't listen. He just kept going on and on about like what he assumed I did, which I didn't do at all, just for Becky and Chris to listen and to let them know that, oh, I was being a that's trying to ruin his life just because he wouldn't like me back. Fast forward to high school, he was still avoiding me, still giving me cold shoulders, and still treating me like a damn plague. Again, I wasn't exactly a loner during my high school years besides freshman year. I ended up being friends or end up like getting closer to one of the girls that I stood up for during 5th grade. And then I was also like reconnecting with a few other girls that I met at middle school. So yeah, like my group of friends was like not too big, not too small, but I still have fun hanging out with them. I mean, in general, he is a good friend, he's a good listener, he's funny, nice, and you know, like, just a good person to be around with. But to me, he was a complete I did have one of my friends saying that maybe I did something to him for him to like treat me that way, but no, I didn't do anything to him. The only thing I did was telling him that I liked him, writing him a note saying that I was sorry that I liked him and just wanted to forget whatever happened and just be friends again, and kicking him on the ankle because I wasn't thinking. Those are the only 3 things that I did. Otherwise, I don't see what else I did to like have him treating me like a person that he doesn't even want to like associate with or whatsoever. I admit I do miss having him as a best friend because I feel that if he was still my friend right now, my group of friends would be a lot larger, and I don't see myself like, you know, having trouble making friends or talking to anyone in general. I would be like more outgoing and stuff like that. Like, I don't know, I just think that I would be like a completely different person if he was still my friend. Despite of what happened between me and Justin, I still want to thank those that still talked to me and still became my friend during middle school and high school years, because like that just shows me that they didn't care what happened between me and Justin or whatever Justin told them or whatsoever. I just feel like they know that I'm not that type of person, like a person that would try to sabotage someone's life just because that person wouldn't like me back. Without them, my middle school years and high school year will definitely be extremely miserable. So that's it for today's video. I know that this story is a little longer than the previous stories. I just feel that I need to get my side of the story out there, even though it's like it happened a long time ago. So yeah, if you guys like this video, be sure to give it a huge thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you like what you see. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Anyway, before couldn't look you